Alright guys, welcome back. We are coming at you with a video for a little handstand push-up progression where we're going to break it down into just 3 steps. That's a pretty short step list, but in order to try and give you a short video, we're going to try to just keep it to 3 steps. But just be aware that there are more steps to this, so if you have questions after you watch this video, please feel free to ask. Alright, so the handstand, kicking handstand push-up. Number 1, here's what it will look like eventually. So that's the whole kicking handstand push-up, what we'll be working towards. So step 1 in this progression is just to establish a tripod. So it's a little tumbling thing that you did even as a little kid in gymnastics or in PE class. So number 1, establishing the tripod. So we want our head and our hands as our 3 bases of support in contact with the floor. And by tripod, what we want to do is create a triangle of support. So we want our hands out in front of our face to where we can see them. Oftentimes people make the mistake of having their hands too far back and they're all in line with your head, in which case it makes it really hard for you to balance in that bottom position. So the tripod position here, I've got my left hand and my right hand set up on the floor. My head, when it goes down, is going to go out in front of my hands so that when I'm in that tripod, again, I can see my hands. So I'll be here. I'm just going to start by establishing where I'm good. So I can see my hands, I'm all good. To establish the tripod, what we're simply just going to do is take one knee, put it up on our elbow, take the other knee, put it on the other elbow. So that's kind of the tripod bottom out position. It's very stable here. From there, what we want to do is raise our hips up a bit, flatten our back out by pulling our knees up off of our elbows. So going back into that tripod position, come on down. I'm all set here, so you can see my back's in a bit of a rounded position. What I'm going to do is pull my knees up off my elbows and try to flatten that back out. If I can stabilize here for 15 to 20 seconds, then you're in a really good position to take it to the next step. Okay? So before we get up on the wall, what we'll actually do is practice our kick that you kind of saw going into a press. So what I'm going to do is just talk through it real quick. I'm going to get into that tripod position. I'm going to flatten my back out by pulling my knees up. And I'm actually going to kick out, pressing up, and finish just in a simple plank, or what we call an FLR here. So that'll look like this. Hands are down, forehead's out in front. I can see my hands. Bring my knees up to my elbows. And I'm going to bring my hips high. From there, I'm going to kick straight out and finish in an FLR. Alright? That was great. Let me show you one more time. Here's what it should look like. You're going to kick straight out and finish in a plank. Okay? So that's kind of the lead up. It gets you kicking and pressing at the same time with very little low stress, right? So what you can do is just practice that 1 rep at a time, getting into that tripod, lifting those knees up, and then giving that kick with that press. Once you've got that, then we'll move on to the wall. So when we're working the progression on the wall, the first step is simply to kick up with your face away from the wall, lowering again into that tripod position. So we'll start with just a vertical body, lowering down. Make sure that the head is out in front so that you can see your hands. And then we'll start, and then from there, we'll lean our butt into the wall so that we just have nice stability there. We can use this wall. This position is actually going to be more stable than the one that you did out on the floor. So, I kick up, I lower, I can see my hands. I'm just going to lean my butt on the wall. I'm nice and stable here. And then from there, I'm going to basically try to reproduce that same position coming down. I'm going to get my knees nice and close to my elbows, but not on them. And from there, what I'm going to do is kick and press. So it looks something like this. And you can see I kick extremely hard and press just directly after. A couple things to note. Most times when I'm doing this for the first time with people, they just don't kick hard enough because having never done it before, you probably don't have the confidence. So just the more you practice it, the more comfortable you'll get, and just know that you need to kick real hard to get yourself up there. The last thing is, maybe that last rep you noticed, I kicked up, I became vertical, and then I slowly fell off the wall. And what we want to do to combat that or stop that from happening is to kind of squeeze our butt muscles. And that will just get you falling back into the wall where you can repeat multiple reps in a row. So now, one more time. Start with my hands down. Whatever distance away from the wall is up to you. The taller you are, the farther away from the wall you're going to need to be. All right, what you want for someone like my height, this 1 foot distance is pretty good from wall to fingertip. I'll kick up, lower to that tripod position. I can see my hands, my butt goes to the wall, and I bring my knees towards my elbows. I'm going to kick and squeeze my glutes, lock out, and then you can just basically repeat that process. Tripod, butt, kick and press. Okay? So, definitely something that takes some practice. It can be a little daunting when you're just looking at it from the overall perspective, but if you take those lead up movements from the floor and build it up, gain some confidence in that tripod position, this should be no problem for you. That's it. Thank you.